Corsicana, Texas. What's up, Dallas Fort Worth? What's up, Houston, Texas? Welcome back to the show. We are your show hosts. I go by the name of Mr. Know-It-All. Also on the side of me, we have our big fella, Bougie, Weirdo, B-Dub. What's up, B-Dub? Right up under me, we have Gentleman, Jamal, G-Man. What's up, G-Man? And then we also have the first lady of the Burning Coals podcast, Miss Educated Queen. Get up for Educated Queen. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. We are the Burning Coals podcast. Here's what we have: fire interviews. We have hot topics, burning questions, serious conversation, and guess what? We say what needs to be said on this show here. So we like to thank you guys for joining, and make sure that you guys go and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also make sure you share the content because we have nothing but fire content over here on our side. All right. Before we get started, on the right-hand side, we have the comment section. If you want to comment on the show, make sure you put your comments there, or you can come onto the show where we have two streaming platforms. We have a Facebook platform that you can come on, and we also have a YouTube platform that you can come on. So when you come onto the show, you can fire up your questions. You can give you a shout out, or you can ask one of us questions. But you got to be prepared because we shoot from the hip if you come at one of us or whatever. So that's just how we do, and that's just how we roll. And we are not. That's right. And we are not afraid of that. All right. So before we get started, the panel. What's going on this Tuesday night? This beautiful Tuesday night. It is cold out here in DFW. I know that much. G-Man, Bougie Weirdo. What's up with it? Talk to me, baby.
Oh man, we under tornado warning down here, so it's been kind of crazy. The rain been bad, the wind and all of that good stuff. But we here holding it down. Shout out, thoughts and prayers to all the people who have been affected by the tornado down here in South Texas.
Oh man, I must have missed the news, the memo on that, man. So that was a tornado. Where did it touch down at, B-Dub?
Yeah, it hit it hit on the north side, if I'm not mistaken. But it was supposed to come directly toward us, but I think it kind of turned and went a different direction.
Wow.
Northwest side of Houston.
Okay. Wow, man. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers with those that was affected by that tornado and whatnot. So, man, it's my first time hearing about it, but man, that's a devastating thing, especially around this time, it's kind of common, now with the tornado warnings and tornado touchdowns and things like that or whatever, man. So, we want to give a big thoughts and prayers to those that was affected by it. G-Man, how you doing this tonight, my guy?
I could be better. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in mourning. That's why I'm wearing my black. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in mourning right now. So, but yeah. Thoughts and prayers to everybody out. I got my people out there. Everybody's good on my end, but I know some people may not be. So,
right, absolutely. But hey, you know what, G-Man? Before we get into the show, I got to say this. All right, for Cowboys Nation, hold your head up, baby. All right, listen. The 4-letter networks. The 3-letter networks didn't want to give us a chance.
Here you go.
Let me get my soliloquy out now. Okay. All right. The 4-letter, 3-letter networks didn't want to give us a chance at all, especially when Dak Prescott went down and they said our season was toasted. All right. So then Cooper Rush comes in and kept the train on the track. And we coasted to a 12-win season, man. Then they say y'all gonna be one and done. So they move the goalposts when it comes to the Cowboys. All right, they always do that. And every time we meet a certain goal, they want to move the goalposts further. So me, you know what? I'm just grateful that we able to get that monkey off our back, beating Tom Brady, because we definitely need to do that before he retired, and we definitely got it done. So Cowboy Nation. We got the first playoff win up on our belt. It's going to be here from here on out, man. Hold your head up. We still them boys, baby. We are still them boys. That's what I want to say. Now we can start the show.
Bro, did you literally just take pride in beating a 45-year-old man with no running game and a beat up.
Wait.
Come on now.
Wait, B-Dub.
Come on now.
I took pride in it. We had to get it because if he'd have beat us. You would have said y'all got beat by a 45-year-old man with no
exactly.
You would have said that.
Wait. I'll let Mr. Know-It-All. He can give his soliloquy because he's a fan. Bougie, y'all won 2 games all season. As Farrakhan said, you should be quiet.
We won 3 games, matter of fact.
Ooh.
Get it right.
Oh man, boy. Oh man, but that's all good though, man. But hey man, it is what it is, man. So I'm not gonna wear all black. I got a great t-shirt on today. So let's rock and roll, man. We're ready to absolutely do it.
I'm in mourning.
Out. You say you're mourning. Okay. All right. So we do have a comment, Miss Loretta Rocha. We appreciate you for joining the show and watching the show and tuning in. Thank you so much. She says hello and hello to you. And again, we thank you for watching and just subscribe to the Burning Coals podcast. Make sure you go and share this content with your family, friends, and neighbors and your enemies as well. Let them know, come over here. Let them check us out. They might learn something over here because we would spit nothing but some facts out there. All right. So y'all ready to go and talk about it? B-Dub, Jim and Jamal, you got the talk about it thing going on? You don't have it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. All right. The top. See, we have to build the plane while in the air with it because I don't have my soundboard working, so we just building up in the air. But we gonna still put that good word out there. All right. So for today's episode of the Burning Coals podcast, we are going to be hitting about this topic: dating expectations in the modern era. Ooh-wee. And the reason why we want this is going to be a 4-part series about the relationship goals and the trials and tribulations in relationships. And we're going to give you our points of view about relationships in the modern era. Because nowadays, look, I'm going to tell you, relationships now, it is to start a relationship, it is quite different from it was when our grandparents and great grandparents was dating. Dayton has taken complete. It did a complete 180. I ain't gonna say 360, but it's done a complete 180 on how a man and a woman, or a young lady or a young man, how you able to court or try to see or try to date each other, whatever. So there's some different set of rules that's going on now. And to be honest with you, a whole lot of things that's going on now as far as like dating. I'm not even sure where to start because everything is so brand new and everything is so it's different now. It is totally different. And we're gonna get into. Go ahead.
That's why we got to break it down into 4 parts, baby. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get real deep into each different segment of it.
Right. So the first question is this, you guys. All right. Dating in the new era. Okay. How did you guys see it as far as like expectations in a relationship today? What are the expectations in a relationship and dating today? What is it? Do we are there, is it to the point to where in a relationship now, like is it more selfish now? Or do both parties even, we'll just say, do both parties like, do they even like, try to sacrifice or try to have an understanding about the other person that's involved? B-Dub.
I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest. I've been off the market for quite some time, so I'm just going off of speculation and kind of what I see going on out there and what I hear from friends, family members, coworkers, or whatever it may be, who are out there dating. And it's not pretty out there. It don't seem like it's a lot going on out there. As far as the selfishness, like, again, I couldn't really say, but it do kind of seem that way. It feels like everybody just got their own idea of what it's supposed to be and just stuck on that. So whatever my idea of how dating is supposed to be, that's just what I'm stuck on. And anything that don't fall in line with that is a problem for me. And then other people are the same way. Like that's kind of what I get from the conversations that I'm having with some of my single friends who are out there dating.
Right. G-Man, how you feel about that, my guy?
Well, before we go, you gotta understand there's a stark contrast in dating. I ain't gonna say that long ago, but certainly when we were younger than it is now. Right now, it's swipe left, swipe right.
Right.
There's a big communication gap. See, I come from an era where you had to actually approach the chick and have something to say. And if you didn't, you had to compensate for it in some kind of way. Right? If you wasn't an attractive guy with dress bad, you better be funny. You better play sports well. You better know how to sing. You better, dress well. You better have some bread. But you had to actually talk to a person. It wasn't I hit a button or I'm in your DMs or whatever, and I can hit you up. I can already see your picture. No, we had real blind dates. Y'all remember the chat line?
Yeah.
You actually had to talk. You had to conversate. You had to have some kind of, some kind of conversation. You had to actually go to the door and knock on the door and hope for a brother or a dad or somebody to answer the door, right? That's all gone now. You just swipe, click. All right, I can see your profile. I can see about how tall you are. I can see 100 pictures of you. I can see what you do for a living, all before I say anything to you.
Right.
So when we talk about expectations, that is going to vary between, generations.
But B-Dub and Jim and Jamal, when we grew up, we had some people that would tell you how to date and would show you what to do and how to do it, whatever. Because I remember my uncles, they used to tell me, conversation rule the nation. Y'all remember little sayings like that? Conversation rules the nation. And if you had if you knew how to talk, you know how to express yourself, even if you wasn't a football player or entertainer, something like that or whatever, if you just knew how to have a great conversation with somebody, a great conversation with, a woman or a man or whatever, man, you was in that nice swimwear, man. But now, like you said, Jim and Jamal, yeah, the social media, dating websites, all these dating websites, whatever, man, they literally made it super easy that you can just put this device in your hand. You can be doing everything up under the sun, whatever, but you can be married, G-Man and B-Dub. You can be married, getting on these dating websites, swiping left, swiping right, having a full conversation with the woman or man while you sitting there, take care of your business at the house, knowing that you got somebody in the house with you, whatever. So I believe that in today's society now, the expectations and standards are very, very low, very low. I say that because, and it's low as well, because for one, we've gotten away from the core values of what it was growing up. When we was growing up, we've gotten away from actually just putting in some work to actually try to get to know and to get to know an individual, get to know a person, because the lines of communication has been strictly just completely broken down. It's more of a, especially I've seen it to where, and I'm talking about friends and family members as well, to where when you actually go out on a date with somebody, it's almost like it's an odd type of thing that's going on. It's like they're trying to feel or try to get a grasp of each other, when they're actually one-on-one with each other. It's very odd. Nobody's breaking the ice, none of that whatsoever. So, B-Dub, you got some add on that, my guy? Like you in your thoughts over that, B-Dub.
B-Dub been out the game 3 decades. I'm
just listening because any information, any personal information would be a couple decades old, so it ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
But not just off of what you were saying though, I think it's because social media, because we've gotten so comfortable with social media. So when you are in person, it is a little awkward, I think, for some people. But also too, social media, like there used to be a thing we talk about dating back in the day. When you was nervous, you was at the club and you was nervous and you want to try to talk to a chick, what do? You get a couple of shots in you and it loosen you up and make you a little more comfortable to go spit at her. Well,
that liquid courage.
Exactly. Nowadays, guys got internet courage, and men and women got internet courage because on Instagram you can be almost anybody you want to be. On Facebook or whatever, even on dating profiles. I think I saw a stat earlier. I don't know how true it is, but it said 68% of relationships nowadays are started through online dating services. So, which I think they included DMs in that as well. So I that's probably true.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're in person, you like you said, you got to have something. You got to bring something. But also, too, I think relationships have gotten a lot more transactional. And I think on both sides, men and women have become more comfortable with that. Because relationships have always kind of been transactional to a certain degree. Because you got to do this and do that and talk to her the right way, make her feel a certain type of way, maybe take out to dinner or whatever to try to, move the relationship forward and get some reciprocation. And now I think women are more upfront about like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what you need to do for me. And men, a lot of men are accepting that. So I think that plays a part in it too.
Man, but a lot of these men messed the game up. I mean, messed the dating scene up, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, B-Dub.
Oh, for sure.
We got some piss poor simps out there, man. For real, to be honest with you. I know, and I'm sorry that you guys have to hear me talk like that. Because I'm pretty PC when it comes to stuff like that, whatever, man. But it's when I was out there in the dating scene, you got some of these guys out there, that would do any and everything to pansy or try to cater to a woman that's not. You setting these unrealistic expectations to these women when you treat them when you do some of these they do some of the oblivious, outrageous stuff that they go to the extreme. And then, a lot they know for a fact they're not going to be able to uphold or continue what they've done to actually, continue.
It started with the music though. If you think about it.
What you mean by that?
It ain't tricking if you got it.
Right.
And then you got these videos or these guys making these R&B songs, rap songs, whatever songs.
What about the females? I don't want no scrub now. They do it too.
For sure.
Most definitely.
For sure. But I'm just saying from a male perspective, what is this song? Yo Gotti got a song. And
goes down the DMs.
Yeah. But he said I fell in love with a stripper or something. I'm paraphrasing, but first I had to tip her 20,000 won. She say I'm that well, if you just gave somebody $20,000, of course she gonna say you that
You gonna say whatever you wanted to say.
Whatever you want to hear. Like that's not player. Oh,
no, it ain't.
I tipped her $20,000 and she said I'm the man.
No, right.
And like I say, we see these videos, rap videos where they taking these girls out on these expensive trips and whatever, and it's distorting women's perception of what kind of men out there and what men are able to do, because these guys obviously are exceptions to the rule. They're part of the 10%, 3% of people who can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And also on the women's side of it, again, I don't cook, I don't clean. Oh, okay, let me tell you how I got this ring. Okay, cool. So now you got women out there thinking, all right, well, I ain't got to do all this. One of the things I hear the most a lot of women say is, I ain't my grandma, I ain't my great grand, I ain't doing all that stuff. So it's just come to a point where I think both sides are just looking at it from two totally different perspectives.
Yeah.
And it's all distorted because none of it is based off of anything real.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Right.
Before I cook, let's go ahead and get these comments because we getting a lot of comments. Then I'm gonna go in.
Okay. Yeah. Loretta Rocha says hello. Angela Denise, appreciate you for joining the show and thank you for joining the Burning Coals podcast. She says, based on what I hear from women 40 and under, If you don't meet their criteria, they are not compromising. Ooh, man, they are steadfast on that too. Sandra Anderson says, hey, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, Sandra Anderson. And appreciate you for joining and watching the show.
Hello.
Angela Denise also says, cheating is easy these days. These apps are set up for it. Yes, they definitely are. Sandy Anderson says, get to know someone. And she also says, we like to clean. It's a female thing. Okay. And Miss Gwendolyn Rubel, she says lashes and nails plus BBLs. These BBLs are killing y'all.
And the thighs don't match.
And the thighs don't match. Well. Let's get it. So go ahead, get into your talk there, G-Man. What you gonna get ready to say to the
I don't never call it one time period was better or worse than, or it's the evolution, right? That's just where we are at now, right? The same things we appreciate about social media or technology, it has its drawbacks, or it's just evolution. I don't necessarily think it, because you get, okay, so if you're dating, right, you get to put your eyes in front of a lot more people through dating apps. So it expands your pool, right?
Yeah.
There are some drawbacks, right? You get to be who you want to be on social media. I can put up any kind of I'm this, I'm that, right? Ultimately, you got to get to know that person. And that is when the problems come. If you're not on the app, if you're at the bar, if you're at a club, if you're at a church, or you're at the store, and you actually see a person, what you're going to do? You don't know how to approach it. Because all you used to doing is this. You don't know how to approach it. You don't say to her. What you got to say, Mr. Norton? You got something to say.
It ain't no B-Dub, Gentleman Jamal. It ain't no fun, man, when you got to sit there on a freaking device and want to try to put your. It's nothing like.
It ain't fun for you because you old.
Man, listen. When I was out there the dating game, man.
Back in 1937.
Man, it ain't nothing like just, when you know for a fact you get yourself together, you got immaculate conversation. I always had that, So and then when you get yourself together and you go and you go to her, when you go into these places and you're going to go meet, you see somebody that you like, and just the thrill of actually going to meet that person, even if even if the possibility of you being turned down, which that never happened to me, I don't get turned down, brother. So, but to actually go and just, put the conversation up and have a conversation with the woman and y'all spark each other's interest and just get to just kind of build a rapport with each other, man, it ain't nothing like it. You don't get that on no social media app. You just don't do it. So before we go further, in the comment section, ladies, because we're going to talk about expectations, because we're going to give you our point of view about expectations of a woman. Give us put in the comment section about what you guys' expectations are when it comes to a man. So put in the comment section. We're going to definitely read those as well. And if you want to come on to the show, we challenge you to come onto the show and give us your point of view about what it is that your expectations are of a man. And I'm telling you, we are really, really dying to hear what you guys got to say about that. So definitely come on to the show. So B-Dub, Jim and Jamal, when it comes to a woman, because we're talking about expectations here, how do you guys feel? What are your expectations of a woman that you guys seem that is worthy of a conversation or worthy of going out on a date and and progressing forward? What's you guys' expectations? Go B-Dub, go ahead.
I'll go first because mine is old and done with. but no, this is what I tell. This is how I advise people. This is what I look for. I think about the end game, right? So first and foremost, there's got to be some physical attraction. I think that's number one. People got to get over that and stop acting like, particularly women, got to stop acting like that's such a horrible thing for a guy to be. Oh, he just want me because. Well, that's the only thing I know about you. When I first see you, I don't know nothing about you except either you are attractive to me or you're not attractive to me. That's all I know. So once that's established, now I want to move forward and try to get to know you. And I think you got to look for, me personally, I look for what's your end game. where are you trying to go in life? I understand where you are now, but where are you trying to go? And number two, what are you doing to make that happen? That was always important to me. And I look at, what they want for as family. You got to ask those kind of questions. And if it don't fall in line with what you looking for, then you gotta move on. But also, let me just throw this in there too. For women, you got to understand, men have two different stages. They have a dating stage and a marrying stage. So I'm talking about in terms of when I decided that, all right, I'm ready to start looking long term. These are the things that I was looking for. These are the questions I started asking. When I wasn't looking long term, I ain't asked none of those questions because it was irrelevant.
Right. And we talk about the young B-Dub, right? The young B-Dub.
Yeah,
B-Dub.
Yeah.
When you're a youngster, when you're a young man, when you're a young man, you ain't trying to care nothing about no family and your long-term goals, whatever, man. When you're a young man, you're trying to get what you can get and basically move on and do what you have to do, whatever. But you don't care nothing about no long-term goals and all that, man. You ain't trying to do that.
Here's the thing, though. I used to date. People don't date no more. And when I say date, I mean truly dating in the sense of I'm a single person and I make it clear up front I am single. And if I like somebody, we talk, we exchange numbers, we go out a couple of times. Okay, cool. I'm not your man. I'm still single. We are dating. And if any particular lady that I was dating I felt more of a connection with, then you have to establish and say, okay, I want to go ahead and take this step further. I want to be exclusive with you. You want to be exclusive with me, and then you go from there. That's very important, and that's a lost art that I think is hurting a lot of people too, because it's like you meet somebody at the club, you go back to the hotel, now we together. Like you don't even know nothing about that person. All you know is that he got a Gucci belt and he can afford a bottle of Ciroc at the club. That's about it. All you think you know about her is that she got a BBL. But people have to start dating again and establishing lines of, hey, I like you, I want to see you, but I am still a single woman or I am still a single man. I want to date you. And, if it grows from there, then we'll see how it go.
Right.
Instead of just jumping into these situationships and stuff right off the rip, just because you met a person and he was cute and she was fine. And, you tapped it one time, now y'all together. Like, that's crazy to me.
Right. Jim and Jamal, what's your expectations in a woman, my guy?
I just be honest. Right? You can clear up a lot of confusion if you just be honest. I know that's tough. I know that's a lot. Now that's a lost art, being honest. Because you can tell a man can tell a woman the complete truth, and you still achieve a level of success because it's just not many people being honest and upfront anymore. So if a lady expects whatever she's looking for, just like one of the comments said, women under 40, they ain't compromising. You gotta compromise. You may not get what you want. Cool. Maybe he wants the same thing because he ain't gonna give you whatever you think he wants. It's gonna be a standoff, right? Be honest about what you're expecting and let the other person make the decision. If I ain't looking for nothing but, something physical, just tell her you want something physical. If she feeling you, she's gonna be physical anyway. Now, if she's doing it for for a dollar amount, then you know what kind of person she is anyway. So my advice is to be honest and upfront, and you get what you want. Either way.
Right.
A lot of people are not running around getting married like that anyway. We gotta understand there's been a shift. There's been a paradigm shift in dating, right? So you're not, like they said, they're not your grandma. They not. So they won't get the same results your granny got. Because no matter what, they kept the family together. They had a family. They put up with some stuff. But the family came first, and so you ain't getting those same results because we ain't the same people, right? I ain't my dad, I ain't my granddad. I couldn't be, right? They give a 18 and be with that same woman until they pass through whatever happened. we not built like that no more, any other women. So there's been a paradigm shift. So expectations have certainly changed from the previous generation to the generation now. You don't see people, you got polyamory, all these kind of different, it's just not even the same. So we can't even put it up against the same criteria matrix. It's totally different now. So you just have to, if you're dating in this time, good, bad, or right or wrong, you got to play by the rules now.
Yeah.
You can't bring those archaic expectations and rules until today times. It ain't gonna, you're gonna be frustrated.
I don't know. I agree with that. I agree with that about 85-90%. The only thing that I would push back on, I think still
dating
by and large, men are still more traditional. I agree
with that. I agree with that.
There's definitely been some changes, and there's definitely been a shift, especially on the women's side of it. But I think men are still more traditional for the most part, and that might be where a lot of the conflict is coming in.
Yeah. So I see we got some contributing factors when it comes to expectations of a woman. B-Dub mentioned more like having a game plan and everything in that era, and Jim and Jamal, you were talking about honesty part of everything. I'm going to ask all that, and this is what I have been mentioning and saying earlier. Man, to me, it's all centered around and all put together when you're talking about communication, because without communication, you don't know if somebody's going to be honest. You don't know if somebody got a game plan. You have no idea of what's going on at all or whatever. So to me, communicating is like 90. I think more than half the battle is already taken care of once you know how to talk with the individual. Man, if you don't know how to talk with nobody, man, you're talking about it's the sinking Titanic, man. It ain't gonna go nowhere.
How you gonna force somebody who's never had to talk to somebody to just up and talk to them? They don't know. They have no experience.
Okay, what I'm saying,
you can't buy experience.
No, you can't.
Experience is the best teacher to eat your own plate.
Right.
You were talking about females and males who never cold approach a person face up.
Right, but I'm talking about
that's a lost art.
I'm talking about as far as like my expectation. If I can't have a conversation with a woman, we can't talk. We can't verbally have a conversation with each other. I can't feel her out. She can't feel me out. We can't move towards nothing with us, man, because we can't talk. We can't have a discussion. Y'all
gonna have to sit next to each other on your phones and just DM back and forth.
Man,
right next to each other.
Right.
Listen, man. Go ahead.
Not the same. Like men are not the same. Women are not the same. Now I can see you saying men are probably more so because they still, but men, we don't operate the same way Granddad and them did. Granddad didn't have to. Granddad never worried about I got to go and do this and he get a woman. He saw a woman, he took her, they made it work. He worked. You got guys now they want to be taken care of, or they like you said, I got to go and spend $20,000. Granddad wasn't spending $20,000 on no woman to make her say he the man. Granddad went to work and brought that money home.
The views of Gentleman Jamal.
Hold on, Granddad. When Big Mama called Granddad, because Granddad went to work and provided for his family.
And had plenty of women. Be G-Man.
Had women the next block over. Had the women. Everybody knew Big Daddy had women all over the place. But guess what? He took care of home. He brought that check home.
Yeah.
So men are not the same. Women are not the same. So the rules that was then, you can apply. That's what I'm saying. It has evolved. Everything, think about it. Everything in your life has evolved from 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Technology, whatever, communication, whatever, except the concept of dating and marriage. It hadn't been updated. So gone are those days when you're going to meet the woman you married was the woman you met in high school. How many? Not many of all men from y'all ain't married to women in high school. Y'all ain't married to women in high school and stayed with them at 18, 17, 18. No. That don't happen now. It's time to update this stuff, man. Outdated. Now, like I agree, dating is dating, but how you date has changed, Mr. No, that's what I'm saying.
Right. B-Dub, you got anything to add on that, my guy?
Yeah, I think part of it too is, like you said, we are different. it's weird for men because we're different and we're in a different time, but I think a lot of us still have the same ideology, but that's because that's what's been passed down. I think you know, and part of it too, and I don't want to go because we talk about this, we know what it is with the family base and stuff, but I'll just say it like this. Certain information got lost and it stopped. The evolution stopped. The evolution of men stopped because that piece of information was missing because the person that provided that information was missing. So you have a lot of guys in today's time that's just operating off of old theories because even if you could still be traditional, but you have to adjust to the new time. You know, back in the day, Big Daddy worked, he also paid for everything. Well, Big Mama couldn't work. Women could work now. So you have to adjust to that. And same too with the women because there's a fine line. And I think, again, the information is not only getting lost, it's getting misconstrued because we're putting too much on a dollar amount. So now women feel like, okay, well, Big Daddy was the man and Big Daddy was the man because they brought home the bacon. Well, now I'm bringing home bacon. So does that mean I'm the woman? Well, not really, because there's still a natural order of how the relationship is supposed to be. So now you got conflict because you got the man, he's working, she's working, they both bringing home bacon. So it's like, who's going to be the head of the relationship? But the whole thing about it is Big Daddy wasn't a man because he brought home the bacon. Big Daddy was a man because he was the man. That's just how it went.
Yeah.
You got a choice. If you a woman back in those times, you can go get you a man who the man, but he ain't got a job. Or you can go get you a man and he bring home the bacon. And she chose the man to bring home the bacon, but he wasn't the man because he brought home the bacon, if that makes sense.
But yeah, he's bringing home the bacon, but he was slanging eggs somewhere else though, B-Dub.
We're not talking about that, first of all. And that's some other cultures because black men.
So we got a comment in the comment section. Tammy Guns. What's up, Tammy Guns? We thank you for joining the show and thank you for tuning in. Tammy Guns says, "Woo, child, I'm just listening. Where is Big Daddy at now?" Oh man, Tammy Guns, do you really think you can handle Big Daddy with all the with the mentality the way Big Daddy think? I don't know, Tammy Guns. You might give Big Daddy a run for his money now.
They want Big Daddy. See, Big Daddy, this is the thing about Big Daddy. Big Daddy gave the entire check.
He want nothing to do with it. Yep, he want nothing to do with it. He had
nothing to do with the finances, right? He just worked, brought the home, gave it to her. She figured everything out. So they want that, but Big Mama allowed Big Daddy
to go do his thing.
They don't want that part.
Yeah,
this ain't a la carte. So you want Big Daddy, you got to take all the Big Daddy. You can't take. I want that.
Big Daddy gave Big Mama hell over there. Boy, I tell you that, man. Big Daddy went out and had like 3-4 kids by the friends and everything.
Hold on now. Yeah. We not gonna pretend like Big Daddy didn't have 6 kids and one of them kids didn't look like him.
That's all get that, B-Dub. That's all getting that. Yeah.
I'm talking about the kids at the house. One of them kids at the house didn't look like Big Daddy.
Hey, Big Daddy didn't care. Big Daddy took care of the kid just like it was. He just brought home the check. That's another kid. That's mine. Exactly. Okay, he mine. Exactly. He wasn't all this. He was like, okay, I guess it's mine.
But there was an understanding.
There was an understanding, unspoken.
Yes.
Everybody knew you went to the funeral. There's gonna be somebody there.
Boy, he sure looked like James. He looked just like him. And did nobody say nothing about it at all? They knew Big Daddy was out there.
Don't let Big Daddy have an insurance policy. Oh Lord, no.
So Tammy Guns she also sent another comment saying, y'all better listen to what Johnny Taylor said. Man, Johnny Taylor get you kicked out of the house. You listen to him, get you kicked straight up out of there. But appreciate you joining the show, Tammy Guns. Appreciate that so much. So
Johnny Taylor said a lot. You better pick which song you're talking about.
Right, no joke. He said a mouthful. He sure did. Because he grew up in that era, G-Man, where all that was going on. He knew what time it was. And the ladies knew what time it was as well. Hold on. He said, Tammy Guns sent another message. She said, "Who's making love to your old lady while you was out making love?" Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So thank you, because that shows that y'all ain't walking around here pristine, perfect neither.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you have 3 or more kids, one of them ain't gonna look like Big Daddy. That's for sure. Big Mama, and that's the thing. Big Mama, she wasn't just sitting at home being stupid. Now she held it down and did what she had to do. And they had an understanding, but she just wasn't sitting around being crazy either.
But she gave Big Daddy peace. That's all the man wants.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Peace.
Yep.
Bring home these kids. I don't care. Just another. I already got 100 of them. 101 ain't gonna matter. Just give me peace.
Yeah, Big Daddy get kicked out of the house, and she tell him go in that smoke shed and go lay down in there. Go and sit down in that smoke in the meat.
He go in that
go in that smoke shed.
She gonna make sure he gonna be taken care of.
Yep.
That's gone.
Yep, it's over with. It's over with. So, B-Dub, you have mentioned something earlier about the information and influencers that sometimes will definitely spearhead the way the dating process is going. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna go ahead and switch into another segment. So we're gonna get to the segment where we're talking about discussing these dating gurus. G-Man, you got a sound for that, man? Because we're going to get into this. We got to get into it. The dating gurus. We talking about dating gurus. Yeah. We talking about dating gurus. So we go. Yeah. So a lot of these dating gurus are giving advice to single women, single men, married women, you name it. A lot of ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls are giving their thoughts and opinions and into people's relationship or how to keep a relationship or a marriage or whatever the case may be. But some of the information, I'll just say this, a lot of information that they give, it's definitely helpful. But if you are a dating coach or a dating guru, a lot of them don't really practice what they preach, I will say. Is that fair enough to say that? Fellas, is it fair enough to say that a lot of them don't practice what they preach, and they're more about practicing about, keeping, or making, money versus, actually putting that great information out there or whatever. So, but we got to get into about the
we're going to the gurus.
We're going to the gurus, man. We gotta pick them apart. Before we get into it, how do you guys feel about dating coaches, dating gurus?
No comment.
I think unfortunately, because of the lost art, which we discussed earlier, is sometimes it's almost necessary. Some of these people have to be coached because they didn't grow up or they didn't have to experience that, so they don't know. They don't know. Sometimes you got, I'm not gonna say whether it work or not. But because you give somebody advice, now I don't know if you're a guru, because if we got a lot of people who talk about marriage and children, ain't never been married, got no kids, but you call yourself a guru.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe in necessarily guru, but if somebody's giving some advice that's spot on, I tip my hat, pop my collar to them.
Yeah.
But that's all subjective. What we may think is, oh, he's spot on. The other side be like, that's the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? So that's super subjective, but we'll get into that.
Right. So Tammy Guns, she says, how a guru gonna give advice when their relationship is messed up too? I mean, we're gonna definitely talk about it.
But ain't no such thing as a perfect relationship.
It's not.
Exactly.
Ain't no formula. There is no perfect formula to any of this.
Nope, not at all. So before we talk any further, we got a video that we want to show, and we're gonna talk about some of these gurus, whatever. But this first guru or this first relationship expert is the one and only Mr. Derek Jackson. I'm sure you guys know him, and we'll get into it after our commentary once the show is over, once the video is over with.
There are two terms that we hear repeatedly over and over again: red pill, blue pill. But what does this mean? If you go on YouTube, TikTok, or any social media, you see a lot of quote unquote blue pill content creators or relationship experts or gurus, or you see red pill. Blue pill content creators generally push a modern woman boss chick type of mentality. Their primary audience are women who are looking for total validation of their behavior no matter what, and typically seek out marriage hypergamy, if they seek out marriage at all, meaning they want a high earning professional man or entrepreneur who is willing to finance her dream lifestyle, even if she has already attained her own financial success and don't necessarily need a partner to provide said lifestyle. These men are referred to as high value. The bulk of blue pill content is based on the assumption that men are lesser to women and are the general fault for women being unwed and or single mothers. Blue pill content creators encourage modern women to forego traditional female roles and are generally not in favor of being homemakers or stay-at-home wives. Blue pill men and women highly encourage their female base to obtain as high of an education as they can and establish a successful, high earning career before even entertaining the thought of marriage or family, even though many of these quote unquote modern women already have children. Some notable blue pill content creators are probably most famously Derek Jackson. Red pill content creators generally push or promote self improvement within men. Red pill content creators put an emphasis on financial, physical, mental, and emotional health and success for men. This is defined as an alpha male mentality, and these men are also referred to as high value men. Now, on the surface, this sounds great, like a great message to promote, and you would think that dating and marriage should be easy, because it would seem that red pill men are exactly what blue pill women are looking for. However, that alpha male red pill mentality in terms of dating is very, very contrary to the blue pill dating mentality. Red pill men are highly traditional and or old school in their thoughts on dating and marriage. The creators of red pill content generally encourage men to forego monogamy and explore all dating options and not to settle for modern women. They typically seek out feminine, submissive women who are willing to be homemakers or home caregivers to their children. Some notable red pill content creators are Alpha Male Strategies, O'Shea Duke Jackson, MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, New Kid on the Block, Pearl Davis, known on her socials as Just Pearly Things, one of the more notable female red pill content creators, and of course, Kevin Samuel. Now, the term red pill has been around for at least a decade, but it was skyrocketed to the forefront of all of our minds and conversations by a corporate salesman turned high-end image consultant named Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel, who unfortunately passed away in 2022, started a YouTube channel back around 2014. He branded his channel as a men's style and improvement channel, where he talked specifically to men about self-improvement. At some point during 2019, after Kevin had received many requests from women for advice on how to attract the very type of men that he worked so closely with through his image consulting business, he decided to start including women into his content more. Had a little technical difficulties there, but y'all get the point.
Yeah, man, B-Dub, that was a good video that you put together there, my friend. That was real nice, man. That was real nice, and I've never heard it. I never heard it broken down to that type of form where you talk about red pills mindset versus blue pill mindset. Can you go into that a little further with that type of concept, my brother?
So basically, it's kind of what we've been talking about as far as progression. you know, and the
Red
thing about
pill,
it is,
blue pill.
yeah,
Correct.
nowadays everybody got to put a title on something, right? So it started with red pill. It's back in the days, men. There came a point in time where men, I guess, kind of started realizing what women were looking for and the whole concept of dating, and just didn't agree with it. So they called it getting out of the matrix. Obviously, taking it from the movie. If you take the red pill, you get out the matrix. Take the blue pill, you stay in the matrix. So the more that became popular, obviously the opposite tends to grow as well. So they started, anybody that was into the traditional, what you referred to earlier as simp type of mentality, they call them blue pill,
Right.
which then evolved into just kind of a women's thing. So now it's kind of like men are red pill, women are blue pill type of deal, because you have a certain amount of women, a growing number of women who have a modern, we call it modern woman mentality. But basically all it is just evolution. Like G-Man talked about, women have evolved. Okay, we can work now. I don't need you to bring home the bacon anymore. You know, I can do that myself. But the problem is, I won't say the problem, the situation is, with that mentality, like I spoke to earlier, now comes a power struggle of who controls the relationship or who leads the relationship. So
The one who's least who's not going to compromise will always run the relationship.
And women, what do we say? Women are not compromising anymore. So now you have a Mexican standoff. Nobody wants to budge. So you got men who are like, nah, this is how it go. This is what it is. And women are like, you know, I ain't trying to hear that. I don't need you for all the other stuff no more. So it's just creating a I call it a figuring out process. I think all of this is a figuring out process. I think eventually men will start to progress more and women will start to kind of pull back a little bit and kind of understand, because it's like this is an example that I always give, and it's going to be a little controversial, but if you know how gay
The views of
bougie weirdo.
Hey, but this is the best way to explain it though. Gay men typically act more feminine than women. And the same with studs or lesbians. They tend to act more manly than men. It's kind of like an overcompensation type thing, right? So I think that's what's happening now in the dating world. I think with the evolution of women in the workplace, and also women becoming more sexually explorative and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a lot of times they're overcompensating.
Right.
And then the same thing for the men. Like G-Man said, you know, you got men that are like, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna go sit at home and play video games all day, and you can take care of me.
Right.
So, you know, it's like we gotta get back to that understanding, get back to that middle ground where there, you know, we gotta get back to Big Mama and Big Daddy, but just in a modern version of it.
Right. EQ, how are you, EQ? Can you hear us?
Hey y'all, I can hear y'all. I'm still at the gym, but I didn't want to leave y'all hanging tonight.
Right.
So I'm listening in. But what it do?
Right. We glad you was able to come on in or whatever. Hey, EQ.
Yes, what's up,
can you answer a question for us right fast? One question.
Talk to me.
Okay, because we didn't have a female to answer this question about expectations of a man. What would you say expectations of a man would be for a woman? What are women's expectations when it comes to men?
Well, it's quite simple. A man expects a woman, first of all, respect. That's gonna be the first thing. Let's be honest with each other because we grown. I can't expect anything of you from a man until I get to know him. I mean, I can't expect you to do anything other than, you know, just be respectful, be honest, all that, until I get to know you, until I know it's moving somewhere. I can't just expect you to do things for me right off the bat. I don't know you. So things take time to develop. As things develop over time, then you set those expectations. Now you have to let each other know what you will and will not accept in a relationship, but that's different. But you know, some women expect a man, on the first date, you got to take me to a $300 date night. No, it doesn't matter what the date costs. The main thing is, let's get to know each other. And then, like as things progress, we get to know each other. Then, hey, you let them know what what your expectations are. But a man don't come off right off the bat paying your bills, sis. No, it don't work like that.
Right,
And
right,
and I think for most part, a man needs a woman to listen and needs her to always be a lady. And have some morals, have some goals, have some values, some standards. You can be fine, you can be pretty, you can have the whole physical package, but what is your emotional state of being like? What is your mental state of being like? Are you lazy? Are you clean? All those things come into play. But from the jump, let's get to know each other, and
right,
then we move into those expectations.
right,
Because once we get past the infatuation part, then we'll know if we're gonna move forward or not. Because right off the bat, when you meet people, 9 times out of 10, oh, he fine, she fine, you're infatuated. You don't really know anything about them, so you can't have any expectation for somebody you don't know. That
right,
takes time. So
right,
that's just my 2 cents, though.
right, 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 right. Okay, okay.
Well, see, I think that's where it gets twisted, though. I agree with what you're saying, EQ. We use Derek Jackson as an example because he was one of the biggest out there until his recent fall after he got exposed for being a fraud, which a lot of these gurus, experts, whatever you want to call them, are. Some of them have got exposed, some of them haven't gotten exposed yet. But it's that thought process is exactly what she's talking about. Women coming out the gate thinking that, oh, right off the bat, you supposed to do this, da 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 da. And it's like, hold on, let me get to know you first. Can you get to know me a little bit first? It's that expectation. I think that's the biggest change in dating is the upfront expectations. Because back in the day, it was like just to be invited out to dinner was like, all right, he's thinking about me. He wants to date me. You go out to dinner, you get to know him, and it just progressed from there. Now it's like, you hit a woman in her DMs, and this is true. This is what I was told. I can't say it's a true story or not. But somebody, according to this person, this really happened. He said he DM'd the chick that he thought was good looking. She hit him back. So okay, cool. She went through his profile because that's what you do now. Somebody DM you automatically go to their profile and see what they got going on. So she's like, all right, cool. You look like you're working with a little something. So he was like, okay, cool. Let's set it up. Let's go to dinner or whatever. She responded with her Cash App. That was her response.
Wrong.
She sent her Cash App. And then he asked her, he was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? And she said, depending on how much you spend or how much you send me will determine whether or not we do this date. Because I'm trying to see what level you on. These are her words. I'm trying to see what level you on. This is what dating is in 2023.
That was a red flag right there. Don't even let it go any further. Cut that off right there because you already know what it's about. She don't even know you, but she's sending you her Cash App. Come on now, she's telling you in a nutshell.
But you got people like Derek Jackson, who we talked about, who promote that kind of behavior and would make excuses for women like that. Oh, you're 30, so you're a mother with 2 kids. You ain't got time to be playing no games with no guy. He should be hitting your Cash App. You can like this. This is a type of rhetoric that some of these people put out there. And on the same side with the men, because we got to keep it equal. There's a lot of men out there that push a lot of BS too with this whole alpha male. You should have 5 women at one time and she shouldn't care. Like, no, like if you're doing what we talked about earlier, if you being honest and saying, hey, listen, you just 1 of 5. And if she down with that, she down with it. But to just think that you can just go have all these women just because, I make 6 figures so I can have as many women as I want. Like, no, it's crazy.
Right. G-Man, you got anything to add on that, my guy?
The views? No, I don't got nothing.
Yeah. What's your experience has been like, G-Man? Tell us.
Moving on. Hey.
So Miss Gwendolyn, we in the comment section now. Miss Gwendolyn Rubel says, great information, agree with educated queen. So she definitely agreed with everything that she was saying there, EQ.
Thank you.
And everything you said, that and I knew that you was definitely going to bring the information because you are a mature, seasoned woman. You've already been out there.
She's seasoned. Yeah, open season.
You know what? That's what you look. You Mrs. Dash. Don't hate. I'm
The
all
views of Mr. Know-It-All.
But you are EQ. You are you know
Thank
you
you, know it
experienced.
all.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
an
They hate.
experienced mature. You're an experienced mature woman. So I would expect for you to answer that type of question in the way that you answered it, or whatever. Because that's just basically how it is, and that's the type of mentality, and that's how we grew up in back then. Come from where we came from, whatever. That's how you actually got to know somebody, whatever. But like Bougie Weirdo and Gentleman Jamal alluded to earlier, all that comes with experience, man. Somebody got to be able to teach you that type of, teach you how to be able to communicate and talk with somebody. Right now, man, it seems like in the modern era right now, who is teaching these kids? We got social media, you got rappers, you got entertainers. They are teaching these kids the wrong information out there, and they don't get they're not getting that, that cold, that love that you got teaching from your uncles or your dad's friends or your mom's friends. They ain't getting that teaching right now, and that's where we kind of going, that's where we get into trouble at now in these relationships or whatever, because it's all about who's teaching these people, who's teaching them.
The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's who's teaching them.
Right. Go ahead, B Dub.
No, I was gonna say because that's the power of social media and the internet, because a lot of these mothers and even the like you talk about the uncles and daddy's friends and all that, they all in the club still trying to be kids. So how they gonna teach them? They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like social media is it's the greatest thing and the worst thing that was ever invented. It's so much good out there on the internet, but at the same time, it's a powerful thing. And when it impacts you in a negative way, it's devastating. You got old heads out here trying to be young, wearing skinny jeans and all this kind of bull crap. And women don't know no better. It's the blind leading the blind, because at the end of the day, people forget that social media is entertainment. But we also learn and we get influenced by what we see and what we put in front of ourselves. So you see a lot of these people out here just saying crazy stuff for entertainment, getting thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions of views, and you think, oh, there's nothing to it. But somebody's seeing that and somebody's ingesting it. Yeah. Maybe half of us, most of us may not. We got enough sense to understand it's entertainment and keep it moving. But somebody that didn't have that training, that had nobody to teach them and guide them, they're ingesting this and they're thinking, okay, this is what it is. From these TV shows, from the music we listen to, from these influencers on social media.
Right. You're right, B-Dub. So we over there thinking like, that's just how it is. That's just the way to go, man. But the dating pool now, man, it's like I said, man, it's different, brother. It is different. And, man, it's if you got somebody at the house that you with, you might want to just stay where you at. You might just want to stay where you at, and whatever you guys got going on in your household, and you think the grass is green on the other side. Okay, you go on whatever you want to. There's some brown patches over there. I can promise you that, brown patches and feces and everything else over there if you want to do that. So stay where you at. I would definitely just recommend stay where you are at. Go ahead.
The grass is greener where you water it.
God damn, I was about to say that. You stole my line.
Yeah, it is. Right. The grass is greener where you water it. Yep. I definitely agree with that. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to close the show. Before we do that, in the comment section, we thank you guys for joining the Burning Coals podcast. Miss Angela Denise, she put in the comment section, she says, glad I do not have to deal with this madness. You're right about that. We definitely agree with that. You ain't got to deal with the madness of being in the dating scene, because it is a monster and it's a mess out there. It can definitely get you caught up or whatever. So before we get ready to go tonight, everybody on the cast here, G-Man, B-Dub, go ahead and get your guys closing remarks in for the show tonight.
Stay tuned. This is just part one. We just getting started.
Oh man, we just heard. Yeah. B-Dub, you got anything?
Hey, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
Just stay tuned. It's gonna get better and better.
Right, most definitely. This is the Burning Coals giving you the bag moment. Giving you the bag is this, okay? make sure that you get to know each other, know somebody, communicate, be honest, and also have a plan as well when it comes to in the dating scene. So now that you got the bag, what are you going to do with it? Jim and Jamal, can you cue up the music? G-Man, you there? There we go, G-Man. We are the Burning Coals Podcast, and we thank you for joining the show. Join us for next Tuesday's show as we do part 2 of the series, of the dating relationship series. The part 2 show we're going to be talking about know when it's over, and we're going to talk about the red flags of being in a dating relation, being in a dating scene. So you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for part 2 for episode number 37. And you don't want to miss it. So make sure you stay tuned and look out for the notification as well. I am Mr. Know-It-All. We got Bougie Weirdo, First Lady Educated Queen, and we got Gentleman Jamal. We say so long and good night. And we love you guys. Peace.